This top 10 is brought to you by Squarespace. Whether you need a domain, website, or online store, make your next move with Squarespace. Not a web design professional? No problem. Squarespace just added 16 new templates to create a great-looking website with ease. And with their award-winning 24/7 customer support and all-in-one platform, there's nothing to install, patch, or upgrade ever. Squarespace can help make your next move idea known to the world, and we're going to make it even easier for you. Start your free trial today at squarespace.com/top10 to get 10% off your first purchase. It's such a common anime trope at this point that it's almost a cliche. You've got these anime heroes with limitless potential in them, but not a lot going on in the brain, if you know what I'm saying. But just how dumb do these anime heroes get? Only one way to find out. Hey, I'm Nervous Nick for Screw Attack's Top 10 Dumbest Anime Heroes.
Number 10.
Look, there are a bunch of different ways to be dumb, and starting off our list is a dude who has no clue what's going on at almost any given moment. SAITAMA from One Punch Man is the embodiment of the word oblivious. Let me put it like this. Even though his whole thing is devoting his life to heroism, he completely missed step number 1, registering with the Hero Association. That's like trying to be a Formula 1 racer and having to be told you need a driver's license. He barely even passed the written portion of his exam. Look, maybe saving the world isn't about writing essays, but for God's sake, man, at least recognize that the sale happening at the grocery store is not as important as the giant bug monster you were just fighting!
Number 9.
Death Note is that one show about the smartest kid in Japan who gets his hands on a notebook that kills people by writing their names in it. Pretty cool premise, right? But when an idiot like MISA AMANE gets her hands on a Death Note of her own, big mistake. Now I know what you're thinking. MISA only acts as intelligent as a rock with googly eyes in order to manipulate people and blah 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 blah. Just one problem with that. She cuts this deal that grants her a power which helps her on her murder quest at the expense of half of her remaining lifetime. And then she does it a second time. Excuse me, what? Look, I can understand sacrificing yourself to save another life, but because she had gaga eyes for Death Note's manipulative main character, she let him convince her to sacrifice 75% of her freaking life just to be a secret terrorist. Most people with a brain will do anything it takes to prolong their lives. And then there's Misa.
Number 8.
Ah, good old meatball head. When Sailor Moon isn't trying to kill people with sparkles, she's SERENA TSUKINO, the ditziest 14-year-old girl you will ever see. She is a lazy crybaby who wants nothing more than to sleep in until noon every day and eat ice cream every waking hour. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely relate, but Serena is just generally not good at things. Out of all the other Sailor Scouts, she's unquestionably the dumbest, and were it not for her posse of more intelligent pals, she probably would be a failure at everything. Now, I'm not gonna say I've never been there before, but getting a 28 on a test?
I failed?
Thank God for Sailor Mercury, because at least Serena has someone she can copy her test answers off of.
Number 7.
Smart characters think with their head. Dumb characters think with their penis. KAMINA from GURREN Lagann wholeheartedly believes that being a perv is what makes him a man. Dude, she's like 14! Stop!
You dumbass. Kick logic out and do the impossible!
Did you catch that? He's literally saying to turn your brain off. Not only that, but he honestly thinks that he's hot stuff. Why else would he go around calling himself the mighty KAMINA? Even Yoko called him a man of unlimited stupidity. That's a whole lot of stupid.
Number 6.
Whatever is going on in Ash Ketchum's brain, something isn't quite hooked up the way it should be. Ash isn't just on the list for the obvious things like missing that Professor Oak and his mom are getting it on, or that one time his own Pokédex flat out implied his stupidity. He's number 6 because even though his whole dream is to be the best Pokemon trainer ever, and even though his entire world revolves around training Pokemon, he still fails to grasp some very obvious and basic strategies. Like, are you kidding me? Sending an electric type against a rock type? Or making Pikachu fight the clearly superior Raichu? So it's no surprise then that after almost 1,000 episodes as of this top 10, he has yet to take a single tournament. Bro, you've been a wandering 10-year-old for more than 20 years! You'd think you'd learn something by now.
Number 5.
Naruto Uzumaki has really come a long way. Nowadays, he's leader of his village, he's married, and he's even got kids. But in his early days, not as successful. The kid was, shall we say, a bit slow trying to get a grasp on ninjutsu. Like, he flunked out of the academy 3 times before graduating. For a while there, the only thing he was truly good at was transforming himself into a naked woman. Like, suspiciously good at transforming himself into a naked woman. Even in later years, he still has the blondest of blonde moments. Remember that time he figured out Nagato could absorb chakra and then immediately threw chakra at him? What are you doing, Naruto? You just established he can do this! It's kind of like when he decided to drink that spoiled milk in the fridge. I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right?
Milk was a bad choice.
But maybe, just maybe, Naruto is not the only shonen hero wearing orange and blue with spiky blonde hair that you'll see on this list.
Number 4.
Well, would you look at that? A shonen hero wearing orange and blue with spiky blonde hair. The prophecy came true. Everybody loves him, but everybody also knows the truth. For all of his martial arts genius, Goku has never been the sharpest light bulb in the forest. Whacking his head on a rock as a baby and growing up in the jungle away from civilization did the Saiyan warrior no favors. He can't drive, he can't manage a radish farm, he used one of the rarest artifacts on Earth for his son's hat, and even though he has 2 sons, he doesn't know where babies come from. Goku, you did this twice! And look, there is such a thing as having a fair fight, but then there's sheer stupidity. Letting supervillains like Frieza reach max power, or throwing Cell a magical bean that completely heals him right before sending his unproven son to fight him are very bad ideas. Entire planets hang in the balance, Goku! Planets! But at least Goku's fighting smarts have made him one of the undisputed greatest fighters in his entire universe and beyond. But smarts in other areas? Literally non-existent.
Number 3.
This show is called Baka and Test. Baka literally translates to idiot.
You are, in fact, beyond a shadow of a doubt, a genuine idiot.
Yeah, I think we got a good one here. Fumizuki Academy is apparently willing to accept the dumbest of students, including AKIHISA YOSHII. YOSHII is anime Forrest Gump if Forrest Gump were actually a failure. In fact, even when characters expect him to do something stupid, he'll surprise them by one-upping their expectations and doing something even stupider than that. But what do you expect from someone who technically didn't even graduate from 2nd grade? He truly is the Baka of them all. The ultimate idiot. Well, almost. We've still got a couple more.
Number 2.
BACCANO. Is it coincidence that we've got another anime with something sounding like Baka in the title? Yes, actually it is. But conveniently enough, that's where we're getting our number 2 dumbest character, or rather, characters. Isaac and Miria accidentally become immortal when they drink a special elixir thinking it was alcohol. This only led to decades upon decades of the couple pulling off the most idiotic crimes ever. They stole the door off of a museum thinking that people wouldn't be able to get in without the entrance. They tried to steal time itself by bagging a bunch of clocks. But most of all, it took them 71 years to realize that they had not aged this entire time. That's literally an entire lifetime for some people. Isaac and Miria are 2 of the happiest people in the world, and I'll admit that they're adorable together, but I feel stupider having talked about them this long. I always knew that ignorance was bliss, but these guys, they embody it.
It's number 1.
Maybe we can sort of blame Goku for kicking off the trend of lovable but dumb shonen heroes. But if you want to know where to find the anime protagonist with the lowest IQ, don't go looking for him flying around in the sky. You're gonna find him sailing the blue sea. Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece is about as intelligent as an actual monkey. Actually, I take that back. That's an insult to monkeys everywhere. Luffy may be a great fighter and an ambitious leader, but he doesn't understand a thing about the world around him. No, Luffy, that's not an old man with a head wound, that is a zombie. No, Luffy, that's not a lady, that is your mortal enemy in drag. That's a melon, that's a cliff, and that's you fantasizing about food again. You could probably kill Luffy by putting a steak in the oven, inviting him to dinner, and then shutting the oven behind him as he inevitably jumps into a 400-degree inferno. Look, we love you, Luffy, but come on, man. You've kind of earned this number 1 spot. And for the secret number 11, we've got Kitaro Urashima from Love Hina. This guy is so mediocre that he failed to get into Tokyo University twice. The good news, he got in on the third try. The bad news, he broke his leg on the first day and had to take the year off. Nice going, moron!